Patriots wide receiver one could be closer than expected. The latest reports show that Stefon Diggs right now is in New England to have a meeting with the Patriots. This is the first meeting that Stefon Diggs has had since he's entered free agency, and that's partially because he did move to wide receiver 2 last year with the Houston Texans, but unfortunately suffered a torn ACL in October, which ended his season. Not to mention, he is starting to get a little bit up there with age. He's 31 years old. The former 5th-round pick from the draft is trying to have one last shot at being a wide receiver 1, and I feel like the Patriots are the best opportunity for that to happen. Welcome into Patriots Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Allie Barefoot. If you guys haven't already, go on ahead, hit that sub button for me. Clearly, Patriots news is happening at any time, anywhere. I am currently at home, but wanted to tell you guys that a wide receiver 1 could be coming to New England. And yes, Stefon Diggs would immediately become our wide receiver 1. I more recently made a couple of videos, especially when I went live earlier, talking about how the Patriots are kind of starting to get in a little bit slim pickings in free agency with wide receivers. I thought a trade might be the best option for the Patriots, and I'm going to stand by that statement. I do still think a trade would be a really good move for New England to possibly bring in a guy like a Jacoby Myers, like Brandon Ayuk, to still bulk up that wide receiver room. But Stefon Diggs would definitely be a right step in the right direction. Obviously, the 6-time 1,000-yard receiver is very familiar with the AFC East. Most of his best play has come with the Buffalo Bills, and he also 100-plus receptions a season in Buffalo from a quarterback like Josh Allen, who is Drake Maye's number 1 comparable player as he starts to grow after his rookie season. I think Drake Maye and Stefon Diggs would be a great duo. I do still think that Diggs still has that wide receiver 1 tendency in him. If he is able to come back completely healthy and act like this ACL never happened, he could have a stellar year in New England. But obviously, I'm getting ahead of myself. There has been no signing just yet. Diggs is just meeting with the Patriots, but that is a good sign. Even if Diggs and the Patriots don't come to a deal or this free agency signing doesn't happen, it does look like New England is starting to get a little bit looser with their rules and still trying to go after good receivers despite the age and despite their career accolades. So if Diggs doesn't happen, you can definitely probably expect a Keenan Allen to pop in here, maybe a Brandon Cooks, or maybe even a Tyler Lockett, who we know we tried to get his former teammate, DK Metcalf. So go on ahead and let me know, do you want Stefon Diggs to be a New England Patriot? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Let me know in the comment section down below. I do think that Drake Maye and Stefon Diggs would be a very good attribute to our wide receiver game. And I don't think the Patriots should stop there. Let's say, for example, I made a video about this earlier on our live in Mel Kiper's latest mock draft. He did have the Tennessee Titans going quarterback Cam Ward with pick number 1. The Browns taking pick number 2, Abdul Carter, which makes a lot of sense considering the fact that they just re-signed Myles Garrett. They're probably thinking, okay, now we can have an Abdul Carter and try to pair those skill sets together. And then New York Giants having Shedeur Sanders with pick number 3. The reason why Kiper has the Titans and the Giants taking quarterbacks is because they still don't have one. And that could change with free agency, but if that doesn't ahead of the draft, then that leaves Travis Hunter with the possibility of falling to pick number 4. Now, if you put Stefon Diggs and Travis Hunter as Drake Maye's targets this year, along with a Matt Collins or any other wide receiver you pick up later in the draft, possibly a Savon Williams, who is 6'5", has the same kind of frame as a guy like Teteroa McMillan, this wide receiver core just got 10 times better. I do believe that Drake Maye needs that type of speedy receiver to be able to hit their marks and create separation, because Drake Maye has such great arm strength that he can go the distance with these faster type of players. And creating that distance between their defenders will prove better for Drake Maye, who showed a little bit of inaccuracy as a rookie, which can obviously get better into his second year. And I think Josh McDaniels would have an absolute field day and a playbook designed for Drake Maye, Stefon Diggs, and Travis Hunter. Obviously, this is if everything plays out the way that it the best possible solution. Stefon Diggs has not signed just yet. He is just meeting with the Patriots right now in Foxborough to see if this would be a good destination for him. I do feel bad for Diggs, though, because he left Buffalo, then he went to Houston, finally got some warm weather, and now it looks like he might be heading back up to the Northeast, but I'm sure he's more than acclimated to that type of weather. Then the Patriots go out in the draft. They get another great wide receiver and a Travis Hunter. They could always still trade away a third-round draft pick, maybe even quarterback Joe Milton, for a guy like Jacoby Myers, Chris Olave, George Pickens. There are still several trade options the Patriots can also try and get to pair along with Diggs. I do think he would be a great option at wide receiver 1, but with a guy like Diggs at 31 years old, he'll turn 32 this year, coming off a really tough ACL injury, there is no guarantee that he will play 17 games next season. There is no guarantee he'll be able to reach at 1,000 yards again the way that he has before that injury happened. People all do recover differently from their ACL tears, so I'm very intrigued to see how his rehab has been going. I feel like he has been extremely quiet in free agency these last couple of weeks, and then from his departure from the Houston Texans. So I really do hope that Mike Vrabel and Josh McDaniels, Elliott Wolf can get some kind of deal done with Diggs. This would help Drake Maye tremendously in his second year. And knowing that Diggs is already in Foxborough, I feel like we are on a good direction to get a signing done. Now with the Patriots trying to sign a guy like Diggs does take a little bit of pressure off of them in the NFL draft, because as we know, drafting good wide receivers is kind of like the Patriots' kryptonite. So just in case they can't end up getting Travis Hunter or Teteroa McMillan is not available, the draft is all about availability and timing. So when you sign a guy like Diggs, you know that you are getting a great player, guaranteed lock. And then if you are trading, the same kind of situation. So I'm glad the Patriots are not just relying on the NFL draft, putting all of their eggs into one basket and saying, hey, look, go be this great franchise wide receiver for me in the first year. Because we tried to do that with Drake Maye last year. And while Maye was the bright spot on offense, it clearly wasn't enough because it's just one player. Now the Patriots have pretty much put all of their cap space into the defense and free agency. Now is the time to really start paying these offensive guys, particularly wide receiver like Diggs, or maybe even trading for a left tackle or left guard, even though that's more of a tougher situation for any team in the NFL. But there are still a few good guys out there in left tackle and left guard. They could also sign in free agency. But if not, I think Will Campbell is a great option with pick number 4 if Travis Hunter nor Abdul Carter are available. I will keep you guys updated if the Stefon Diggs does end up signing with the Patriots. This is why you guys hit that sub button for me on Patriots Today by Chat Sports. I want to make sure you guys have all the information as soon as possible. So go on ahead and hit that sub button for me.